Hi everyone, welcome to the Wasteland Survival Guide, our EDC live stream, as always with Naked Sean and with our special guest today, Jonathan from Pens and Pen Blades. So just a quick hello to the people in the chat. Big thank you to Chirk, Blue Collar Pocket Knives, and as always, he's got straight into shouting out to some of the people who have channels. Great to have Tony here, Blade in Wales, and Sean, of course, is both here and in the chat, which is excellent. Good to see Mrs. Naked Sean. So thanks, Lynn, and hopefully it was you that gave him a shove to come onto the live stream because he was still in the chat. And good to have Benny here as well. So ahoy. And of course, Slippy as ever, and TK getting in with an early troll. It's what we expect, TK. Don't ever stop. And Stuart as well. So a great start. Oh, and Elando, fantastic. So yeah, we're going. So I think that's just about it. Oh, and Terry from 1931 Leatherworks. So great to have you here as well. And of course, Mikey. So, and I think that's all for now. So let's just get rid of this. And oh, I've lost Sean.
Yeah, where's Sean?
Did he fall out?
Okay.
Okay, I'm sure he'll come back. I'll keep an eye out for him. As you're our guest then, Jonathan, and as you're the only other person here, so can we do a pocket check? So what have you got in your pockets? Sure. So knives, EDC, anything?
Yeah, I don't have it in my pockets because it's easier to grab it off of the table over here. But so for my first knife, I have it in a JO Ventures and Outdoors slip.
Nice.
And that is it's the Boker club knife from the exclusive one in the copper and burlap micarta. And I believe this is
lovely. That's lovely, Jonathan.
Tool steel, I believe. Anyway, it's got an acid wash finish on it.
Oh, really that's cracking, that is.
And then, in honor of Randy, I decided to carry one of his slips that he made me to match this case Coralon Trapper right there.
Oh, that's great pairing, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And then the pen in the pocket. It's the Kaveco Lilliput fountain pen. Yeah, a little slow to deploy, but yeah.
Yeah. So you avoided the awkward part because I watched your review and it.
Yep.
The screw is not so good on the calf, is it?
Yep. In fact, I did it right there. I tried to screw it on, and it didn't go, so I just decided to let go and not do it.
That's cool. Anything else?
Yeah, got a antique copper Zippo with one of the butane inserts on the inside there. And of course, just my normal EDC, the Streamlight Stylus Pro. And actually, I forgot to show this in my last pocket dump, but I'm started carrying around a bandana or like handkerchief as just something handy to have. And of course, pocket notebook in a EDC Leatherworks slip.
Ah, cool. Yeah, as we said before the show, I'm still trying to find a pocket notebook that suits me, and but haven't quite found it yet. Sean's back. Hiya, Sean. Are you having some technical problems there?
Our internet's really been playing up. The live earlier, I got on 2 seconds, got back onto the chat 2 seconds before we went live, and it seems to be playing up again. I think I've got John's hamsters here, TK's hamsters.
And right, okay, so you might need to wind him up a bit. You're getting a lot of good comments about your cap. So, Jonathan.
Thanks, guys.
Yeah, I don't know where I've put mine, but anyway, so I'll have to be. I'm capless and beardless compared to last week. Thanks for that, Jonathan. Great pocket check. Sean, do you want to go through your pockets?
I beg your pardon. Today, I've been pocket carrying this Arthur Wright lamb's foot in ebony in a Randy slip, which I'm sure you've probably seen before, especially if you watched the show earlier.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the paw print one, yeah.
Yeah. And I've also got a Spartan. Just
oh, nice. Yeah.
Spartan. Well, that's kind of all I've really had most of the day. I'll tell a lie. Yeah. Got the Benchmade. It's a Ken Steigerwalt design. It's an old one.
Yeah.
With a backlock, mid backlock. Yeah. As I've been at home most of the day, I've been carrying that.
Oh, that's cool.
That's me.
And thanks. Let me just do mine and quickly. So yeah, I've been carrying this new knife, the TBS Boar, and I got it from the Discord sales page from Steve, and I'm really loving this. It's got a nice grip on it. It's a nice and chunky micarta. Hollow grind, I think the guys in the Discord told me, and really nice. So and then I put a short lanyard on it just to make it a little bit easier for getting out of the slip. But so I've been carrying that, and the UK PK, which is always the one that I reach for first now. Actually, the Midnight Manager has been missing out on things because I have this in my pocket. I do have the Midnight Manager, but mainly for the flashlight and the scissors as well. And then I've had a Zippo in this weekend because we had a pizza party on Friday, and I was using this to light the pizza oven for that. I think that's about it, really. I've had a couple of Randy coins in my pocket. So
still available. Still available, Mark. Yeah.
From Slippy or TK. Big thank you to TK. I forgot. I haven't started carrying this yet, but I will do. It's one of Griff's slips. Fantastic quality. If you haven't seen his store in the Discord group, please do that. I'm not getting a good picture of that, am I? Is that better? But really good quality. I just need to pick a knife to go in this. So that's in memory of Randy, and fantastic slip that. So I think that's it, really. Let me just quick check, see who's in the chat. So we've got Scott Two Blades in as well. Griff, the slip maker himself, and I think I saw Mrs. C as well. So that's great to have you here, Mrs. C. I thought, I think Mrs. C. I think Mrs. C. Quite likes Jonathan. I've noticed Mrs. C's type, Kaylin, Elan, Jonathan. So
Male.
Yeah. Sure. Anyway, Mrs. C, it's always a pleasure to have you in the chat. And Andrew Baxter's as well. Although I probably clicked on the wrong one. There we go. So great to have you here, Andrew. And he's also been on the show. So that's brilliant. And should we just do a quick beverage check? So Jonathan, what are you drinking?
Yep, I've got some A&W root beer here. And also a little bit of water.
That's good to hydrate. That's great.
Yeah.
And thanks, Jonathan. And Sean, what are you drinking?
Well, I'd like to show you this pint of beer that I haven't got. I've got some fruit juice, squash. Still on my game. Still not drinking.
Excellent.
Cheers,
That's great going. Yeah, cheers. And I've got this interesting non-beer. It's an Erdinger alcohol-free. It says refreshing isotonic drink. It's okay. It's got that strong sort of malty taste, but I'm not a great fan of water, unfortunately. So it's better than water. Anyway, cheers, everyone. I hope you've got some sort of beverage at home and are drinking responsibly, of course. Great to have Paddy in the chat as well. Paddy of Paddy's Potato Power Banks and peelers as well. So great to have you here, and great to have Greg Vanderlip with us as well.
Just must say, Paddy scored big time on the raffle today, didn't he?
Yeah.
What a cracking knife.
He did well. I'm more than happy to swap mine with his. And I think it was Tony who said in the chat that it sort of matches my the logo for my channel. You know, from
there you go.
From this. So that's fine, and I'll sort of own it with pride. I will do a review after I've had it. Elan had a great idea, which I'm for the review, so I might follow up on that. So great to see a lot of sober people in the chat as well, drinking soda pop and things. So have we had any other acquisitions or purchases this week? Jonathan, anything else new come your way?
Yep. Well, I've got 2 new knives here and 1 new stationary thing. Picked up this new Boker Congress recently.
Oh, lovely.
It's a 4-blade Congress.
Yeah.
And I'm really excited about this one because if I can find the right blade, yep. This one's in D2 steel, which is very cool.
So nice sort of sheep's foot, or maybe around sheep's foot, yeah.
This one's a sheep's foot, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you have the other sheep's foot on the other side. And a pen blade. And also a coping blade.
Oh, fantastic! So it would make a good whittler as well then with those. Yeah.
Yep. And I also picked up this Rosecraft Senator.
Brilliant.
In the same order.
Yeah.
Which is kind of something I've kind of noticed is if I can get these both up there, the Congress pattern and the Senator pattern are very similar in shape. They both have that kind of sway back, equal-ended design.
Yeah.
And also picked up just a new planner from Walmart.
Oh, great stuff! Because of course with all the pens you need something to write on as well. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's cool. And I guess it's that time of year when we're all planning stuff, and that's great. Thanks, Jonathan. Sean, any acquisitions this week or anything new, or just show something if not?
Well, the Griff slip, which,
cool.
as I mentioned earlier, he kindly made and donated for the fund for Joy. Still enjoying the purchases from last week in Sheffield with the guys. Talking to senators, this is an Arthur Wright one. Which
is nice.
Beautiful knife, really. Yeah. Very pleased with it.
Yeah.
And it's, actually, Mike, I think you'd enjoy one of these because the pull on it is, whilst it's still firm and solid, it's not quite to the same degree as the tiny special sheep's foot.
I like the balance of those, and I think, as Jonathan was saying with his two, having bolsters at either end. I think has a nice sort of look.
Yeah, it
about
lifts it a bit somehow. It's it's a stunning little knife. It really is.
Yeah.
I mean, you're not going to see the grain very well on these cameras, but it is very nice piece of ebony.
Yeah. If Paddy's there, I mean, I think that would make a great Paddy's potato peeler knife.
Yeah.
Well, if things go to plan, I'm sure the guys will work through the Arthur Wright patterns. All things, fingers crossed, and
Yeah.
if everything goes well. Be a good one. It would be a good one.
That's cool.
I don't know whether they decided which pattern they're going on for the first knife, but
the first one's the tackler, I think, isn't it?
it was mentioned, and then I think I also heard possibly a Barlow, but either one, or you could get a Barlow tackler, which was another one from last weekend. But yeah. Anyway, enough of me. Come on, let's hear from Jonathan.
Jonathan's. You've done yours, Jonathan. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. I'll just do mine quickly, and then we'll find out a bit more about Jonathan. So, yeah, for a non-knife guy, I've had a few things come as well as the TBS bore. Then another purchase from the Discord group, which I couldn't resist, was I bought it because these two came together again from Steve. Bees and I took advantage of Steve selling stuff during Paddy's live. I think it was Paddy's live, either Paddy's or Slippy's and TK's, and so it's the Swiss Solo or single blade. And I really wanted this. It's a nice knife, nice and simple, and a good price. And then there's this Artisan. I think it's the Biome.
Biome, yeah.
And really nice light blade. This can't fault it really. I've promised it to my son George. When I've done a review, so it'll be going there, and I think I'm getting to the point now where it's almost like one in, one out with my knives, because I've got a toolbox with them in, and I don't want to get a bigger one, so I'm going to try and find a way of sort of moving some on, and then also from the Discord group, I got this buck, my first canoe, and I really like the. I really like those sort of fat. Would you say that's a spear point or a pen blade?
Yeah, I call it a spear.
Yeah. So really like the fat blade there. Let's do it from the show side, and my first canoe. So it's a Chinese buck, but I won't hold that against it. It's really nicely made, nice fit and finish. And then from the same person, I think this was from Kukule. I've been looking for a Leatherman Micro for some time. I know some people like them, some people don't, but I just think it's really cute. I'm loving the scissors, and they're not bad actually. They're not quite as good as Victorinox, but they're not bad at all. And then it's got a few other things such as tweezers and a couple of screwdrivers as well. So really cute. I hadn't realized how cute it was. I'm not normally a Leatherman fan, but I quite like this one. So and I think that's it for me. So let's get back to the main thing. So as always, we have a few questions, and just to get to know you a bit more, as this is a knife stories episode, Jonathan. So do you remember what your first penknife was?
Penknife?
Yeah, or pocket knife.
So I'm gonna be honest, I actually do not have a penknife yet.
Okay.
Just haven't.
Or first EDC knife, or
first knife. Yeah, I've got that. It's this one, an Ontario rat number 2. They used to have cream
Right.
colored scales, but they were dyed this blue color. This
Yeah.
was actually a gift. He was a coworker of mine too. But yeah, this is what started all my knife collecting and stuff. So
Cool. That's a great one to start with.
yeah, and this one's an Oz 8 steel, so it's a good, easy to sharpen steel.
Yeah. And so how long has your channel been going now?
I think it's been about a year. I think it was
Yeah.
September of 2023, if I remember right, is when I started.
Okay, that's cool. And what made you pick this topic for your channel?
Well, I really like pens and pocket knives, so just kind of mash the two together. It fits under the EDC umbrella.
Yeah. So were you sort of collecting those beforehand? Or
Yes. Oh, yes.
already?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, cool. Because I know that I wasn't really collecting knives at all until I started a channel and fell in with the Discord group. And so if it hadn't have been that, is there anything else you would have picked for a channel instead of that at all?
Probably my second one would have probably been gaming, because that is another hobby of mine I do like.
Okay. And what sort of games do you like?
Like video games is what I was talking about, like mainly action and adventure.
Okay. Can you give an example? Because I know there are a few gamers.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Oh, like Legend of Zelda, Breath of the Wild. That's another one I like.
Okay.
Ghost of Tsushima is a good one. Games like that.
Yeah, I've just started playing that Legend of Zelda on the Nintendo Switch, and but yeah, I tend to like games like Skyrim and Far Cry and Fallout. So Randy and I used to talk a lot about Fallout.
Yeah.
I know we're going to bore the knife guy, so we might stay too long on that. So so which sort of channels were you watching before you had your own channel?
So the first channel I found for knives was Nick Shabazz, and then I stumbled upon the old episodes of Blade HQ Knife Banter with Ben and it was Ben, Austin, and Zach. Then I started watching Zach in the Wild. And at some point, I found I got into Victorinox knives. There's multi-tools, and I found Mark Kaufman's channel, and then he mentioned RJ's knives, and that he was on his live show. And then I found RJ's knives, and that just snowballed into finding everyone else in the community.
Yeah, cool. Because you've been on RJ's. I remember seeing you as a sort of a fairly regular person on there. So that's cool. And how many videos have you made so far? So
I think I just reached 80. It was my last. I think my last video makes 80.
Oh, that's cool. And how many subscribers?
300 and is it maybe 60? 370.
Cool.
Yeah, 370. Okay. Just reached that.
Well, hopefully, if there's anybody who's crazy enough to not have subscribed to you already, hopefully you might get a couple more from this, and which is cool because I know what it's like. That sort of drive to 1,000, is it's hard going, isn't it? And trying to work out what works and what doesn't.
Yeah.
So what's your sort of mix between sort of knife videos and sort of pen videos? How do you sort of do that split?
It's pretty random. I try to at least do maybe like one pen related video and one knife related video a month, but it's majority knife probably just because those are a lot easier for me to film and do than the pen videos. The pen videos take a little bit more work.
Yeah. Sure. And thanks, Slippy. Thanks for putting up Jonathan's channel, and thanks, Nigel. Please hit the like and subscribe buttons if you haven't already, and definitely hit the like before you leave. That'd be great. Thanks TK as well, and no unstibbing, please. Hopefully, so we will show some more knives shortly. So you selected your channel because you liked pens and pen blades. I quite like that. That sort of combination for that. So how has your sort of collecting developed over the time? Have you got some examples of knives and pens, you know, early ones that you had, and maybe the way it's going now?
Yep. Yeah, so for collecting knives and stuff, it started with modern knives, so like the AD 20.5 from Demco, like that, and then also like the Rat Model 2. Also have like this is probably my first kind of like fancy knife, is the PM2, and this has a Rips Garage Tech custom scales and a RDS wood turning and acrylics antler bead on there, with
Nice.
Lynch Northwest pocket clip on there. Then I got into Victorinox knives a little bit. This was a Smoky Mountain Knife Works exclusive. This is a Tinker.
They do some great exclusives, don't they? Which we
Yes.
don't see over here in Europe at all.
Then I don't know if I forgot to grab it, but my first slip joint knife was a Case Peanut in the Lollipop Coralline. Then my next two knives, and I've kind of moved away from the moderns a little bit more. I still collect them every once in a while, but I've moved more into the traditional knives, and particularly favorite pattern, the Congress knife. This is another Boker Congress knife, same blades as the other one.
Yeah.
And yeah, I particularly like to collect patterns that are kind of older ones, like from the 1800s, 1700s, especially like the Barlow as well is another favorite pattern of mine.
Yeah. Oh, that's nice. I like the handles on it.
So yeah, that's kind of where I fall now, is mainly in the modern camp, while still collecting a modern one every once in a while. Or no, traditional camp, collecting modern every once in a while.
Yeah, cool. And so you've mentioned a couple of Bokers and a couple of Case. So what are your favorite sort of makers?
Favorite makers? That's hard. I do like Rough Rider. Rough Riders are really good.
Yeah.
Got this. So Elephant's Toe, I really like them.
Yeah.
I got a little bit of a love-hate relationship with Case because of some of the quality issues.
Yeah.
And I have taken a liking to Boker recently, and then also I fell down the Rosecraft rabbit hole. So I'd probably say right now my favorite makers are Rosecraft and Boker, as well as Rough Rider.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, Rough Rider. I've only got the one so far, but they're very, very, very good value, and the quality seems to be fairly good. And I think I'd quite like to get a Rough Rider Reserve. I was hoping I might win one today, but you know, fate, the wheel of luck came out differently. But that's fine. But I'm sure it's at some point I'll get one. And of course, I guess Rosecraft have a lot in common with Rough Rider because of Andy Armstrong. So, that's cool. And that's great. And do you want to show us a couple more pens as well? What some of your early pens maybe, and
sure,
a later one?
Yeah, let's start with my first pen actually. The first pen I ever bought was this. This is a Lamy Safari.
Yeah.
This one's in the, I don't know if it's gonna show up, but this one's in a fine nib.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that was the first fountain pen I got. Then, let's see, which case? This is probably one of my favorite fountain pens to write with. And it's actually the cheapest fountain pen I know. This is a, let's see. Oh, it's a platinum preppy fountain pen. This only runs like about, well, the special edition runs about $13, but you can find the just the standard versions for less than that. This pen, it just writes really well. I think this one's also in a fine nib.
Yeah. 0.3, yeah.
And I'll do one more pen. This is the TWSBI Eco has a lot of huge ink capacity in it. I think it's like one. I'm blanking on the size of that, but it's a lot.
Oh, so is that like a plunger fill?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, and this one is probably one of the best nibs I own. It looks really cool. This one's a medium.
Yeah.
So yeah, there's a few of the fountain pens. Oh, and I guess I recently got into multi-pens as well. This is a, let's see if I can, Uni Jetstream multi-pen. Has the red and the blue. And then what's interesting is this multi-pen has just kind of a standard click on that side. So you got the two slots right there for your colored ink, and then the one in the middle for your main black ink. So that's pretty cool.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, and that goes with my planner, actually.
Yeah. That's cool. Okay. Thanks, Jonathan. Sean, what have you got to show us, mate?
Well, bear with me. I meant to bring it to the table. I've realised that I forgot.
That's okay. It gives a chance to wonder at the wall
So-
behind you. Yeah.
Dispense.
In homage to Jonathan being on, now this is an empty box, but it's an old Swan pen.
Oh, and a side lever. I
Yeah,
remember
And-
those.
Oh, wow, yeah.
and there is a name and address on the back for postage, and the date is 4th of the 9th, 40. So it's from 1940s.
Wow.
Oh, wow.
Sadly,
No pen.
there's no pen,
Mm.
but there are the original instructions.
Oh, that's cool.
I think you must have the best collection of boxes and tins. Sure.
Lynn's saving the big one for me so I can sleep in it when she kicks me out. So yeah. And there's also another one, although I don't know again, an empty box. But this one's Majestic.
Right. And another lever, and a safety pen. I don't know what's meant by a safety pen. Does that mean it doesn't leak?
You don't cut yourself on it. And then another one, Waterman's.
Oh, fantastic.
Again, empty, but just thought it was significant to show them while Jonathan was on.
Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Sean. And just a couple of questions from the chat. I think Terry was saying about how good the
Yes.
preppy is, and Paddy's asking, do you have an interest in calligraphy as well? So
I am interested in it. I just have not yet given it a shot.
yeah, we won't make you show us a sample of your penmanship, but we can watch your videos. Ah, okay. So this is one
It's
of
a
your
little bit
texts,
of-
yeah?
I don't know how well. I did mostly print for that, but there's a little bit of it.
Yeah. Oh, that's cool. And then Mrs. C is saying, do you have any light pens?
Like as in weight, she's saying?
I'm not sure. Do you mean light as in, as in not heavy, or light as in writing
Flashlight.
with light? All right. Yeah, I've got to avoid some of the Slippy and TK chats.
There's another one there I forgot about, but
Oh, cool.
Nice.
The Bonham J pen.
and now this one has
Hang on, let's.
the contents.
Ah,
Nice.
So you've got the assorted nibs, and then the wooden handle, I guess you'd call it. All different styles. Now, I guess this is probably for calligraphy or some such.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I'm sure there's another term I'm looking for, but
So that would go on to a sort of a wooden.
yeah. So basically, you remove the nib from the handle and swap it over for whichever one you want. Different styles, and I guess
and that's a dip pen, yeah. So you just
dip pen, yeah. You'd have a bottle of ink, which I should have one kicking around. Yeah, something like that. Obviously full of ink.
Oh, fantastic!
Or, you know, a gentleman would have an inkwell on his desk. You would dip your nib.
When I was at school, they had the holes in some of the desks. They had some of the holes in the inkwells, but we didn't have any of the actual inkwells themselves. I wasn't at school that long ago, despite what some people might think. But I did have.
Were you using slate?
Yeah. But I do remember having a proper fountain pen with sort of like a squeeze, like a dropper to fill it, and then I used Quink ink was the ink to use when I was at school. I think it was the only one we could get, really. So I just have a question for Jonathan. Let's just pop this back to all of us. Why do you like the Congress pattern so much, Jonathan?
So the sheepsfoot blade is my favorite blade type, and you get 2 of them on a Congress. Plus, on a Congress, you typically get if I can pull it out without cutting myself, you get a pen blade that has a decent tip on it. So you can do really fine detailed work with that. I mean, it's just a really good, I just think it's a really good combination of blades that you can do a lot of tasks with. It's a very versatile pattern. Yeah, and then the coping blade just gives you a really fine precision blade as well. Right. Then the 2-blade one, you also get the pen blade and a sheepsfoot, so you get that versatility there too, and it's a really nice slim package.
Cool. Oh, and Mrs. C meant Olight pens.
I do not have any Olight pens.
Cool. And Nigel, as always, there's a lot of knowledge in the chat. So he thinks a safety pen could be a non-metallic one for an area with static, which sort of makes sense. And Scott's saying he's used a pen blade on a quill and tried to write with it. Have you ever tried that, Jonathan?
No.
Sorry, I think we lost you there. Are you still there? It sounds a bit like from Close Encounters of the Third Kind.
We've had a few of those, especially in Wales. Yeah, Amsterdam.
Yeah, thanks, Nigel. Yeah, I wasn't quite that old. Still got to avoid. Yeah, TK, hamster down. Oh, jeez. The chat's moving too quick for me to click on the right one. Oh, and Quink is Parker ink. Sean, have you got some vintage lighters to show us? Oh, we've lost Jonathan. Have you got any to hand?
Yes, just bear with me.
Yeah. Hamster's died.
So, trying to not be too obvious and show Zippos, which I do have quite a few of. I think Elon was quite interested in, this is an old Ronson lighter.
Yeah, I think my dad had one like that.
So it's petrol lighter with a flint, and this one does still spark if you get it right. Just needs a little bit of work to it, but I'm sure if you filled it up, it would light.
Welcome back, Jonathan.
Thank you.
And there's
another
one.
Let me put you. Yeah, another one. Yeah.
Again.
Oh yeah.
It does spark, but it needs filling.
This is a whole new rabbit hole to go down, but fits in very well with knives and pens and.
Yep.
Now this is where I like Terry's channel, Terry's Knives and Man stuff. I think that was.
Man needs fire.
Yep.
Yeah.
So this, I don't know what make this is. I can't see any markings on it, but it's got this flip up arm, which exposes the flint wheel, and obviously the wick's the other side. Again, no petrol. I don't know whether this has got a flint in it or not. It is just about sparking.
Yeah.
But not very well. And then I think these are both Ronsons, but little dinky ones. Again.
So do you think they'd patented that design? Because it seems to feature on a lot of theirs.
I don't know. Quite possibly. And another one with some more fancy machining on it.
That's beautiful.
Like a very fine floral leaf engraving or molding, whatever. Again, in need of some petrol, but I'm sure it would work.
Yeah.
And then this one's a bit of trench art from possibly from the First World War, an old shell case, which is the fuel tank.
Oh wow!
And the sprint wheel on the top, which does still throw sparks. Again, no fuel in it, so it won't light. But yeah.
Oh, they're great. Thanks, Sean. And good to have New Zealand Outdoor Blades here. So great to see how far we're stretching. I think Elan, I think Elan would quite like to buy one of your lighters by the look of that. So
what's he say? Sell me one.
Yeah. Send
nudes, Elan. Send nudes.
And Griff was saying he still has his grandfather's. I mean, I used to get lighters from sort of like church jumble sales and pretend they were gadgets, you know, like James Bond or Flint. Our man Flint was the one that I remember. He used to have a small gadget, like a lighter that did lots of things. James Coburn, I think. Okay, that's cool. I'll just show a couple of my pens, nothing else. So I am really loving the Kaweco Sport, and I like it so much that I'm thinking about getting one of the metal ones. So really love writing with that. It makes trying to do a journal easier. The Parker Jotter has been my favorite sort of work pen, and it's just super reliable and works well. The Zebra expands as well. I quite like this because it's the size of an O Pen Mini, more or less. It's a bit heavy though. That's the only thing.
Okay.
But it does open out, so it's sort of nicer to write with.
Yeah, I have not seen that one.
I think they do a slightly different version as well. But my version of the multicolor pen is the good old Bic multicolor, and but I think you get some great versions of these now.
Yeah.
I quite like that for planning videos and things. And then some of the mini pens, the online one, I think Elan had mentioned this to me in the Discord. So that's a nice little mini twist, and it's quite cheap. It's a little bit short to write with though, and there's a Zebra Mini as well.
Okay.
And that's a nice size. It fits well in a notebook, but it's a little bit thin to write with. You know, and then the worst one that I wish I'd never bought. I bought it for a video. Was this one? I don't know if you've seen this, the Minimo.
Yeah, I've seen it.
And it's a great idea because you can have it on a card and put it in your wallet, but it's really uncomfortable to write with. You might as well just have the Victorinox pen.
Yeah.
You know, it's like writing with a refill. And of course, the Midnight Manager has a pen, which is great. So when you extend the pen and fold out the nail file, that it's actually quite decent to write with.
Yeah.
And there will be one coming your way as well, Sean, as you won one.
Yeah, thank you.
I think this was the second thing, you know, for Knife Guys. This was probably the second thing that people didn't want to win, but it's a great thing to carry. I know Paddy doesn't class it as a proper knife, but it does have a blade on it and a torch, so it's sort of quite useful. I think that's most of my pens really. But yeah, I sort of ended up collecting pens. Well, a few pens, but more pens to use. Right. I don't know which pen, and I think there's something rude in there, but I can't work out what it is.
I dare say there is, Mark.
Yes, let's move on. So, yeah, I think should we do the keep, carry, scrap? Because I'm a bit nervous about this. You don't need to be nervous, Jonathan, because the crowd will be on your side whenever I go. So I've had a couple of bad weeks, and I'm hoping this will be different. So let's just pop this up, and hopefully you know the rules. So I'm going to show 3 knives. One is to keep, and that you don't use. One is to carry, so you use it on a regular basis, and one is to scrap or to give away, so you can send it off to somebody in the chat, somebody here, and so let's have a look now. I hope it's okay because I've gone vintage.
That's fine.
I've gone for 3 pen knives as well.
Okay.
So they've all got pen blades. The first one, and forgive my pronunciation, it looks like it's Melvin Borge French pocket knife with a horn handle, thought to be from about the 1940s or 50s. Of course, being a French knife, it comes with a corkscrew to have a glass of wine while you're preparing your pen, and 2 reasonably okay blades. It looks like the smaller blade has been the one that they've used a lot. The second one is a vintage German and Gebra Hop advertising knife for Bayer, and it's the folding pocket pen knife. So I think that's a small pen blade, and then the small thin. I don't know why I'm pointing to my screen, but this small thin blade is for it's a nail file and nail cleaner. And then the third one is a vintage English Sheffield Taylor's Eyewitness British folding pen knife, and of the lobster type. And I didn't realize that they're called lobster knives because it's like lobster claws. So do you want to talk us through your choice for which to keep, which to carry, and which to scrap?
Okay, so I'm definitely going to keep the lobster knife. But carry, that's a hard one. I'm trying to think which one I would like out of the 2 to carry. Also, if I don't pick the French knife, I wonder if Elon might be mad.
Oh, don't worry about him. You know, he can choose his own ones.
Yeah. I would probably carry carry the lobster knife, keep the French knife, and then scrap the two-bladed pen knife.
Keep which one?
Keep the French one.
Yeah.
Carry the lobster knife, scrap the pen knife.
Scrap the middle one.
The far right one.
Scrap the far right one.
Yeah.
Okay. You'll probably upset a lot of the British Sheffield people, but that's fine. It's a choice. Sean, thanks, Jonathan. Sean, which would you go for?
I would move the German one on.
Right.
Purely because of size. Carry the French one and keep the Taylor's Eyewitness.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I do like a small penknife.
Yeah.
But I don't tend to carry them very often, although I really should, because I'm sure most days I could probably manage with it, you know, if I was just wanting to have a blade just to do any light cutting.
I think this is what non-knife people, or I don't know what we should call them. Should we call them civilians or muggles? Maybe. I think normal people would just have a small knife like that. I should have got out a couple of my small ones, but again, I don't carry them much.
Don't you get your couple of small ones out on here, Mark?
So I think I would keep the French knife and carry the Sheffield one and scrap the German one. I've got some German knives that I like more than that. Just looking at the chat, I think it's been a little bit more popular, maybe. Oh, TK's trolling. Burfrey is saying scrap, keep, use. Slippy's saying screep. Let me pull it up. Right. Slippy's saying keep 2, use 3, scrap the frog. And Scott is keep 2, use 1, scrap 3. Oof. Sean is saying keep 1, carry 2, scrap 3. Paddy's saying keep 2, carry 1, scrap 3. I thought the Taylor's Eyewitness might be more popular. Griff, finally, keep the lobster, bin the rest. Right, okay. Thrifty, scrap, keep, carry. Okay. Yep, scrap, keep, carry. Nige is keep 2, use 3, scrap 1. Oh, Terry's not feeling the love for these. Yeah, you've already... Slippy liked it too much. He's just decided to do it again. And Mrs. C is keep the French knife and send it to Elon. Well, that's not quite keeping it. That's anyway, Mrs. C. We get what you're saying. And I'm just seeing, yeah. And Baxter's got keep, scrap, carry. Benny's not feeling the love for them either. So, okay, that's fine. I mean, knives aren't for everyone. I think I've done a bit better than last year. I don't know if you want to vote in the chat for your to give me a score out of 10 for the sort of knives I've chosen. One being 2 weeks ago when everybody absolutely hated them. 2 being last week's one where Paddy didn't like them and I don't think they were popular. And maybe 10 would be the best ever. Mikey's harsh. Elan's harsh. Anybody going to give me higher than 3? I just want to give Ah,
Oh yeah,
thank
you see
you.
it now. Look.
Thank you, Paddy. Thanks, Sean. I will show the other ones as well. 1.2. Thanks, Lippy. Tony's given me 4. If I can find it. Thanks, Jonathan. Tony's 4. Oh, Mrs. C, 2 out of 10. Stuart, 8 out of 10. Scott, 8 out of 10. Right. Okay. It's good to know. I like this feedback. It's good to get. It's one of the things I like about doing YouTube. You have plenty of people to tell you how you've done in the chat. Very nice shot. That's a tiny little penknife, isn't it?
That is a dinky one.
Yeah.
And it's a Taylor's Eyewitness. It's quite an old one.
Cool. I don't think they do any really small knives anymore, do they?
No.
No. I think, is it Rough Rider do a few tiny ones as well, I think?
They do a few, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, so a 4 from Benny as well.
This is a nice one. This was from Blade in Wales. Good old Tony Tensheds.
Hang on. Let me put you up to.
It's an Arthur Wright, and it's not one you see in general circulation, but Tony has a store near him, and they do get these in occasionally. Although I think he said that he hasn't. The guy who owns the shop hasn't had any in lately, but it's a nice little pen.
That's nice. I like that.
I think all it says on it is it just says made in Sheffield on it, but he's reliably informed by the owner of the shop that he only buys the knives he stock are only from Arthur Wright. So
yeah,
but it is nice and a nice bit of
that's cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's like new old stock, yeah.
Well, no, I think they still make them on Arthur Wright. Have a lot of different patterns that you don't see regularly, and I think they must still produce these.
Okay.
But yeah, brass liners.
Yeah.
It's nice and knife. If only I were a gentleman.
Yeah, I have. I just have a couple, but this is a German one I got from Kongi's bargain bin at Sharp Show. I think it was, I don't know, £5, £10, and I just quite like. I just thought it'd be nice to have that sort of pattern because this was the sort of knife I carried as a boy, you know, they were quite sort of popular back in the 60s and 70s. Just to show, just to pop this back up just for a minute, and if anybody's interested how much they cost on eBay, so these were the guide prices of what they were up for. So so the Bayer one is the more valued, or at least on there, and it seemed quite pricey, I thought, for the Taylor's Eyewitness one, but I haven't really looked at them much. Anyway, they're still on eBay, on the US eBay site if you're interested. Yeah, so Mike is saying they're a bit overpriced, which may be right. So Jonathan, in your time with your YouTube channel, what have been some of your challenges, either as a collector or as a YouTuber? What have you found challenging?
So challenges as a YouTuber is I'm not the best at speaking, so sometimes just doing a video can be a little tricky for me.
Yeah.
And then also just finding the time to film can be tricky just with life and stuff. As far as collecting, just trying to stay focused. I'm really all over the place with my collecting, so trying to stay focused and save up for, instead of buying cheaper knives, save up for like a more expensive one.
Yeah. I think I'm still in the cheaper knives region, which is useful, but I think at some point I'll want to trade up a bit. Should I? I haven't really. apart from Alox knives, which I quite like, then I haven't really found something that I want to expand into and get more of. What's been one of the best parts of having a channel?
Just the community, getting to meet all of you guys and everyone else. Just the kind of the just the just getting to know people and getting to make friends and stuff.
Yeah, I think the Discord helps a lot for that. And sorry, I'm just seeing some of the trolling going on in the chat. But yeah, and I think the Discord helps a lot, and I particularly like the voice chat now. It's like, well, it's like a place to meet up with friends, really. So, which is good. Have you met up with anybody in person yet from one?
Not yet.
And I do sort of miss the RJ's lives and the Big J's lives that used to be on a Sunday night. That was one of the reasons for sort of picking this slot, because I thought, well, we might as well do one if there wasn't one. But yeah, I can understand how it, they've been doing it for quite a while, and so it can wear a little bit thin after a bit.
Yeah.
I know I sort of put it on the list, but what have been some of the things that you've been most pleased to buy? What and get for either to show on the channel or as part of your collection?
Probably the Congress knives. I really like that pattern and stuff. Is that kind of the answer you were looking for?
Yeah, sort of. Is there a standout item which is sort of you think is one of the best things in your collection?
Yes, so it's probably a tie between the Boker Congress I showed earlier, in the D2 steel, because it is in D2 steel, and it's 4 blades of it, or this case double bladed half Congress there.
Oh, that's nice
as well.
Yeah.
Oh, that's what I did have a pen. The Quebeco Lilliput. I really like carrying this, even without it, with all of its
sort of quirks.
Fun to carry. Yeah, those would probably be my best purchases.
Yeah, cool. And what about worst purchases? Is there something you really regretted buying?
Yeah, so it's not the fault of the product, but it was the Work Sharp bench stone sharpener. Not a bad product at all. It just wasn't right for what I was gonna need it for. It's not the best for traditional knives, how it's set up. I ended up buying the Lansky sharpener instead, so that was a purchase I wish I didn't make. I kind of wish I would have done more research on it.
Yeah. Oh, cool. That's good. Sean, have you got some other wonderful stuff to show us?
I've got a few. Keeping with the pen theme, pen knife. This one's I think it's an F. Newton Sheffield. It's an old one. Trying to see if you can see the stamping on there. It's the
that's a proper tang and blade stamp, isn't it?
So it says Premier Tri Knife, and there's an image of a swan, and it's really not going to show, is it?
I could just see the swan. Yeah.
Yeah, it's an odd one. And the thing I really like about these older ones is the swedging you get on the blades.
Yeah.
I don't know whether that's going to show on there. On that top edge, it's lovely. And on this smaller blade as well, can you see that bevel on the side there?
Yeah.
It's just really classy. And I mean, I don't expect these would have been expensive knives in the day.
No.
It just kind of goes to show the level of workmanship that was there in Sheffield at the time. And these things were probably being mass produced.
But it makes you wonder how many of those are still around. You know.
Oh yeah, I think there are a lot. You know, I think you do see them time to time, well, fairly regularly, really. This is a William Rogers. Stamp's not particularly clear.
Yeah.
Can just, but it's got the "I cut my way," which is their kind of their trademarks.
Yeah.
Where was that? Nice little mother of pearl. This one needs cleaning up a bit. So, Wasteland my Excel. Might just be able to make it out. Probably not. As I say, it does need a bit of a clean up. This one.
Yeah. It looks like Slippy's had it for a couple of weeks.
Not that bad. But yeah. Is this the Taylor? Yeah, nice little ring knife. It's got the sort of little key ring type mechanism that you twist to close your blade or open your blade.
Is that a safety feature, do you think, or is it so you can open it?
Well, I mean, it has got nail nicks, so you could open it with your nail.
Yeah.
I don't know whether they were aimed more at ladies that didn't want to get their nails damaged.
Oh, maybe, or if they were wearing like gloves and.
Yeah, you can just about see the eye.
Ah, yeah.
Taylor's eye stamp there. What else have we got? There's a few that are kind of unmarked, so you can't tell exactly what they are. I mean, there's a nice. It's not like one. Where is it? I'll tell you what I will show. If I can find it, I brought it down. Where did I put it? Here we go. So this one was a 1924 Wembley exhibition souvenir knife.
Oh,
with
fantastic! Yeah.
What I believe are ivorine covers, which is like a faux ivory.
Yeah.
You can just see the lines in it. CU James and Co. Sheffield. Probably not going to see the text on there.
Sheffield, yeah.
Yeah.
It's nice to have a date on a knife because it's one of the things with the Sheffield knives.
Incredibly hard to date a lot of the knives, a lot of the old Sheffield knives. They didn't have very much information on at all, and obviously the patterns were carried on for years. So it's very sketchy with a lot of them.
Yeah. Interesting shaped blades as well. Quite a sort of a spear point, really. But quite a sharp spear point.
But yeah, again, a souvenir piece.
Yeah.
And then there's another souvenir piece, and this was a silver jubilee, but not from the late Queen. This one's from 1910 to 1935. And I can't remember what this one is. Or
so
maybe
George V.
Yeah, I don't think it says. It just says made in Sheffield. That's all. That's why I can't remember what it was. Yeah, just again, you're not really going to see, but it does say there made in Sheffield.
Yeah.
If you catch it in the light, right, you can see it.
But I guess they do that now when they're making knives for other people, don't they?
Yeah, I think it happened a lot historically. Like the one I showed that Tony sent me, again, doesn't say Arthur Wright's on it. It just says made in Sheffield. So I think it still happens, obviously.
Yeah.
Where's that? Oh, I'll find it because it's sat in front of me. There's quite a nice little Wollstonecraft home. pen blade, just in plain metal covers.
Yeah.
But it's got those easy open type grooves that you can just see there, one each side,
yeah.
so you can get at your nail nicks easier.
And they're quite big nail nicks as well, aren't they?
Yeah, but it's quite tidy condition, this one.
Yeah.
Again, you can just about see the IXL if I hold it still long enough.
It's clear there, yeah.
Yeah, but it's loads of snap on this one still.
Yeah.
So, are you bored yet?
Oh, that's cool. Well, let's come back. I just go to the chat for a bit. So, I'm just looking at the ones that I can, actually show. Yeah. So, Andrew was saying, Blade Show Texas might be a chance to meet up if you.
Yeah, probably not going to make it this year.
Sean thinks you seem to have an old soul. I think that's a compliment. Thanks, Nige. I might tap you up on that. Maybe you'll have to have a meet up with Will. That'd be great. Paddy's. I think Paddy's found out who donated the. It was a Boca, wasn't it? The Paddy one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That was Martin. Fantastic
nice
from Steel City Knives. So that's good. And let me see. Terry also has the Lilliput in fountain pen and rollable. I mean, that's one of the things I like about the Kawecos. They do them in the sort of cartridge, as well as having the they can take standard ink as well, and also roll a ball and a ballpoint as well. Benny's saying, just give freehand sharpening a go. Yeah, it's worth it. I mean, do it on some knives you're not so keen on to start with, because it's easy to wreck some. Great question from Stuart. Do you have any family or local friends who also collect, or do most people just think you're a weirdo for having a load of knives?
Yeah, I really don't have any family, or I do have one friend, but I don't really see him a whole lot. So I don't really have anyone locally who collects.
Yeah, I mean, I find my family think it's odd that I have more than a couple of knives, and but now I'm finding that my sons, who are grown up, they're in their 30s, they're starting to get a couple of extra knives as well. So they've gone to 2 or 3 each. And if I see anything in the Discord sales, then I see if they're interested. So, so I don't feel quite like the only collector. Let's see if we've got some other thing as well. Yeah, I think that's a great point, Benny. That I'm not sure we had them in our pencil case. I don't know what the rule was about taking knives to school. I don't think they really cared if you didn't sort of flash it around. So good to have Cheeto Bandito in the chat, and Radar as well saying hi. All right, pocket watch, chain, pen, knife, what feature? All right, this is how to have them all together. And you don't collect watches as well, then, Jonathan? That's another.
No.
That seems quite popular amongst some of the knife guys as well. But here you're talking about a really expensive addiction.
Yes.
If you get into those. So, thanks, Stuart. So for my Heine Haynes Arthur Wright knife that I have struggled to open, I think I'm getting there with it. I'm with a bit of work, it's getting better. I'm just trying to pick up on ones that I can show. Yeah, definitely, Tony. Sean has the best background in YouTube. We just need to get him making videos. So Elan's just warning, don't get into watches. I don't see that. I have one watch and it's nothing special. It's just a citizen, but it's it's fairly robust, and I can wear it anywhere. So, I've just got a couple more questions for Jonathan. But if anybody in the chat has a good question for Jonathan to take advantage of him being here, or for Sean, either if you've got any questions, put them in the chat, and then we'll try and get to them, as long as they're clean, please, from the trolley people. Where do you see your sort of collection going? What sort of direction are you going in with your collections of pens and knives?
So as far as pens, probably I'm starting to get, as I showed the multi-pen, I've started to get into kind of a little bit away from the fountain pens and starting exploring like more ballpoints and gel pens and roller balls.
Yeah.
But I still like the fountain pens. As far as the knife collecting, I've fallen down the Rose Craft rabbit hole, so I probably will be picking a few more of those up.
Yeah.
Soon, and probably more. I want to pick up some Sheffield knives too. So that's probably where I'm going to be heading in the near future.
Yeah, I think it's quite interesting, that sort of drift from modern knives. I think Rosecraft are a good sort of crossover between modern and I won't go on my usual rant about Rosecraft, but I think they're a good bridge between modern and traditional knives.
Yeah.
And I think that's good, because I think it's making people look at some of the traditional ones as well. Yeah, and certainly the Rosecrafts seem to be addictive. I think once you've got a couple of them, you want to get more, because the build quality is so good. I think I just tend to get one, maybe two of most makes of knives. That's what I'm trying to just try out some different ones, except for Victorinox, where I've gone in a little bit deeper. And that's a good point. Propelling pencils, have you considered those?
I have no clue what that is.
It's like a pencil with a lead, and you push the button and the lead comes out.
Oh, okay.
Or a clutch pencil.
A mechanical pencil.
Yeah, mechanical.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I actually used to be more of a mechanical pencil guy, but then I found pens and went down that rabbit hole. So yeah, I do have some mechanical pencils.
There are a couple of multicolor pens which have 3 colors plus a pencil as well. So I'm just checking if there's any other. Scott's saying, do you carry slip joints or modern knives more?
Definitely slip joints more. A lot of the time I do have a slip joint and modern knife combo, but majority is the slip joints.
Yeah. And Andrew's asking about favorite brands. You were saying about sort of, was it Case and Boca? What about pens? What are your favorite brands for pens?
Well, I really like the Platinum pen. I like Platinum really good. Well, Wami's good, and of course, like the Quebeco as well. I don't know if that's gonna show up or not, but yeah, those are probably my 3 favorite brands. Oh, and then for actually more modern pens, really liking the Uni.
Sorry, you really like
the Uni pens? It's they're a Japanese brand.
Yes, yeah. Oh, that's good. And I think Andrew's asking about bands and music.
Oh, Johnny Cash.
Johnny Cash. Okay, favorite song?
That's hard. I'll give you 2: Ghost Riders in the Sky or Orange Blossom Special.
Okay. I mean, if I really want to sort of lower my mood further, then I play Hurt, the 9 Inch Nails song that he sort of just completely owned afterwards. But
yeah. Oh, one piece at a time. That's another good one.
Okay, yeah. And where do you sort of source your pens from? Yeah, that's a good question.
Online sites. So one I buy from is called Jet Pens, and then the other one is Pen Boutique.
Yeah.
Yeah, another good one I have not bought from them yet, but I know another good seller is the Goulet Pen Company. So
Okay.
those are the places I like to look.
And do you have any favorite pen channels that you watch?
I actually haven't really watched that many pen channels. One I do really like, it's called Hemingway Jones. He's a fountain pen guy.
Right.
Let's see. Trying to think. Jet Pens and Goulet Pen Company, they also have a YouTube channels as well.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, I haven't really found too many pen channels out there.
Yeah. And sorry, I'm just firing questions at you. Where do you see your channel sort of going? You know, you've been going for a while now. So have you got an idea about do you want to continue doing what you're doing, or do you want to change it up a bit? What do you want to do with your channel?
Probably going to continue doing what I've been doing, just doing the kind of regular pen and knife reviews and unboxings and stuff like that.
Yeah, that's cool. That's good. I mean, yeah, keep doing what works. That's good. I find I get bored, so I have to think of different things, which sometimes it might be something clickbaity. I know I've been challenged on that by some of the guys, and but just having a bit of fun and just sort of messing about. Yeah, and Mrs. C, I think Sean is getting a YouTube channel at some point.
That'd be nice.
It's just making that start. But I think the one thing that everybody says is that they wish they started sooner. You know, when they do YouTube. And he, he's this is part of Sean's YouTube exposure as well, which is great. What? I have no idea what that is.
No clue.
Yeah. Sean, have you got some other stuff to show us, mate? Because you always have something interesting. Let's just.
Well, there's another little stainless pen blade, which is a George Butler, which probably isn't going to show again.
Yeah.
Sheffield. Just another variation on a theme, really. What was that? And then, of course, the Victorinox ones.
Oh, that's cool. Is that the Excelsior?
Yeah, I believe so.
Slippy always knows the models well.
Yeah. Because there was another one without the keyring, and I can't remember which was which.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's also the Alox one.
Yes, I really like the look, because that's the smooth Alox, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, smooth Alox.
So it's basically
which I like more, the smooth Alox or the sort of the waffle pattern that they use.
Well, this would make a great carry, slip into a wallet if you just wanted to carry, if you were going somewhere but wanted a knife, but something very discreet.
Yeah.
Obviously, just two blades, so it's quite minimalistic.
Yeah.
But it would get you through.
It's a bit thinner than the Swiss Army 2 as well, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. It is
It's probably about the same thickness as the Bantam Alox, I guess. Yeah.
But yeah, it's just another little pen blade. I think I might have shown most of the others. John Watts, Sheffield. This is a nice slimline one.
Yeah.
It's a bit oily.
How many of these have you got, Sean?
One or two. And again, it's got the easy open notches.
Yeah.
Yeah, several, Mark. Several.
And what I
The thing
like
about
about
this
those
one,
is,
it's got that little choil there that you can kind of choke up on.
oh,
If you
that's
see
good,
it.
yeah.
Interesting.
See that curve.
It's
So
got
you-
that,
I mean,
and it's got a little sharpening choil as well, hasn't it?
yeah, it has. I mean, obviously you're not going to do a lot of heavy work with it, but if you're doing anything a little bit more precise, you can get up a bit closer.
Yeah,
But it's still got good walk and talk on it.
yeah.
So yeah, these, you can, if you're in the right place at the right time, you can pick these up for sort of no money at all, really.
Yeah.
And you can occasionally find some real gems.
Just Mikey's just not behaving. I think he's just trying to wind up Tony. So
yeah, and of course the classic Richards. Where is that other one?
yeah, and just to say, Stuart, yes, that SAC model is discontinued. So which is a shame.
The old Richards pocket money pen knives.
Yeah.
The little twin blade one with the engine turned.
So
Shell
those sort of handles, are they just stamped out? And
yeah, the shell covers again, they're clamped on.
yeah.
If you look down the end, you can just see about make out the tabs that hold the outer covers on. Cheap, cheerful little knives.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's cool. Thanks, Sean.
No problem.
Jonathan, anything else from your collection that you haven't shown us that you'd like to show us?
Sure. This is probably the closest knife I have to a pen knife. It's a small Congress. This was the vault pattern from Case in 2023.
Oh, that's nice.
In the apple, green apple bone. Sorry, my lighting's not the best. I'm losing the sun here.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a nice little carry. And then got this Kershaw Culpeper. I bought this. Andrew, he sent out the one in red bone as a traveling knife.
Yeah.
And I got to take a look at that. And as soon as I had that in hand, I bought this one immediately because I really like the knife. It's kind of a Granddaddy Barlow. Get a really good
it looks quite big, yeah.
grip on it. Yep. And this one's in copper scales there.
I really like those copper covers.
Yeah.
They're nice.
I've
got the red bone one, and I've also got the black. Is it G10? I can't remember. G10, I think the black one was.
Yeah.
But I do like those. Very nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stuart's asking, do you also have a collection of hats as well?
Yes, I do actually. Yeah, you're actually. I grab a.
I think I definitely need to get a better class of hat. Actually,
this is actually my first flat cap I bought.
Yeah.
Yeah, this one's a Stetson.
Oh.
Yeah, cool.
Yeah, I don't want to say where my flat cap's from, but it wasn't an expensive shop. Very nice. And Chirk's doing a great job. I didn't know that was Slippy's middle name. Nice to know. So, yeah, Griff's also approving of your choice of hats as well, which is great. I don't think that's true, actually, Andrew. I don't think a hat makes you bald. I think it's just more bald people wear them. But as I find, myself, yeah, it wasn't Lidl. It was actually from Primark. But I wasn't sure if I was ready to embrace the flat cap. But now I've got a cheap one. I'll think about upgrading, which will come.
Yeah.
I haven't seen them in the middle aisle, Tony. So, yeah. There's nothing like having your friends troll you, is there? So, cool. Yeah, so I think it's really good. I think it's great to see where your channel's going, Jonathan. I hope you keep going, getting the subs, and I'm going to keep checking out the channel, particularly for some of the pen stuff as well, and maybe do some more notebooks as well. I think they're quite popular.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen Side Goggling Jack's channel.
Oh, yes, I have. Yes.
Yeah, he does some interesting stuff around setting up journals and things as well.
Okay.
Like sort of bullet journals and that sort of thing. I'd like to get into that more, but I start them off and I'm just not good at keeping it going.
Yeah.
And
so as far as journaling goes, I use this. This is a 5-year journal. I'm not going to show them the inside because it's private, but
yeah,
it has basically 5 lines and not 5 lines, but 5 sections, one for each year. So you get a little bit of room each day of the year for 5 years to write a little short journal.
Oh, okay. And you keep adding to it each year to put. Oh, that's a great idea, isn't it? Yeah. Oh, I like that.
Yeah, this is a Wasteland 1917 journal.
Yeah. Stuart's got a couple of great questions, actually, Jonathan. So, do you have a Grail knife or a Grail pen?
Okay, so I actually bought one of my kind of Grail knives recently. It was the Spoker.
Yeah.
So yeah, now I kind of need to find a new one. It would probably be a new Grail knife. Would probably be a Sheffield. Oh no, I got another one, but a Sheffield Senator with the file work on the back, or there's also the Buck Congress. It's a rare buck knife that I would. That's definitely a Grail knife for me. So as far as Grail pens, the Pilot Capless and the Lamy 2000 would probably be Grail pens for me.
Right. So you haven't got tempted by any of these sort of like Mont Blanc or any of those sort of flashy makes of pens, or?
Yeah, not really. I don't know why.
Yeah. Yeah, I've seen them. It's not been something I'd want to own. Oh, and Elan's got another one. Not surprising. If you could buy a French knife, which one would you buy?
Okay, I'm gonna have to pull this up because I don't know the name of it.
I can tell you've probably been coming in the Discord group,
Yes.
too much. If you're talking Sheffield Senators and you know which French knife you would like.
Yeah, I think so on the knivesofrance.com, it's it goes by the name the violin horn. I don't know if anyone's familiar with that.
The violin horn.
I believe it's
Is there a maker for that?
Is it there's I think GR. What would that be?
I'm sure Elan would.
Yeah, Elon, if you know, help me out, please.
I think he's probably having a look online.
So just a couple of points.
Yes.
Saying, keep going, and shorts are a good way to get subs, to help get you out there.
Okay, so yeah, the shorts are good, but there's been a few channels that I've watched where shorts have been a negative to their channel. One of them, Knives Fast, if anyone knows that channel, he did shorts, but as soon as his shorts started doing well, the regular views on his channel got sliced in half.
Yeah, I think that's the only thing, is that I'm not sure the subs for shorts are the same as subs for long form. So, but I think when you're trying to get to the 1,000, I think it's a way of helping you get there, and then you can maybe decide afterwards. I don't know.
Okay.
I mean, Slippy, who's probably been the most successful of us in the short time, he does both, and that's sort of working for him. But he's very prolific, so I think that helps too. Yeah, Elon's saying, Stuart, thank you for not behaving like the rest of us and asking proper questions. Yes, which is always good, because sooner or later I'm going to click on one of the rude ones by mistake, but I'm getting better at reading them.
It's happened.
Yeah, just a couple of times. Yeah, Midnight Crisis is a great call out. And Nigel's saying he likes the mini Bastion bolt action pens. There are a lot of these EDC pens. They're nearly always bolt action because they're fidgety, and they're nearly always metal. Here we go. Ilana said, yeah, the violin. Tears Isard is GR.
Okay.
So, right. I think, and another call out from... another call out from Chirk to Benny. So that's great. So I think that's about it now. So thanks to everybody for coming in the show, and thanks for the active chat. That's always great. I just wanted to say a shout out to Sippy and TK because they kindly give me a plug on their show, but their show today was absolutely phenomenal. And not just because people were winning the prizes, which was great too. It was a lot of fun, but the amount of work that's gone in raising money for Randy's family and just helping us remember Randy, that was just a great show. It was one of my favorite ones that they've done. Great fun, and really a whole positive thing. And I think that just shows how great this sort of community that we have. A lot of it based around the Discord group. I know I keep talking about it, but please come in and please chat. It seems a bit weird sometimes, but everybody's great in there. Everybody's friendly, and there's some robust banter. So if you're going to give out crap, you'll get a bit of crap back as well. So that's good too. But some of the most fantastic people on YouTube have been in that Discord group. So anyway, I'm glad that you're coming in more as well, Jonathan. So that's good. Another thing as well, anybody with a channel that would like to come on the show, please let me know. I'm looking to get a little bit ahead. Hopefully we've got TK coming on next week. I need to just confirm, but I asked him a couple of weeks ago. So that'll be good. And yeah, it's been quite good with the questions. So I think we might try and do that a bit next time as well. Sean, as always, has some fantastic eclectic collections to show us. So if you can think of some great stuff for next week, Sean, that'd be brilliant too. And just a big thank you to everybody. So I enjoy doing this show. It's one of the highlights of my week. And I had a little, one of the other highlights I had today was I had a comment from Felix Imler on one of my videos.
Oh, wow.
So because I gave him a shout out. And Felix is one of my Grail guests for this show. So I just want to get a few more under my belt, and then I hope to ask him and see where we get with that. But thanks everybody in the chat. Thanks for the support from everyone. Hopefully I gave everybody a shout out. If I didn't, come next week, and I'll try and make sure I do then. So thanks everybody. Have a great week next week, and we'll see you next Sunday. Thanks everyone. Thanks Jonathan.
Thanks, everyone.
Yep.
Thanks. Take care everyone. And